In this video, we're going to go over how to use the double angle formulas. And just to note on your notes page, the double angle formulas have been pasted there for you. There is one formula whenever we're finding the double angle of sine, and there are three different options that you can choose when trying to find the double angle for cosine. So let's look at the circle that I have here, and notice that I have a right triangle inside my circle. My x value is -5 because I'm in quadrant 2. My y value is 12. But what if I want to find the cosine and the sine? Well, when we're using SOHCAHTOA, and the reason why we're using SOHCAHTOA is because we're dealing with a right triangle. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So here's my angle. Opposite is 12. Hypotenuse is 13. 12 over 13. And to find cosine, it's adjacent over hypotenuse. So here is my theta. Adjacent is -5 over 13. So we use the sides of our triangle to find cosine and sine. So here we have find sine of 2 theta. We only have one formula that will work for 2 theta, and that formula is, by looking at that notes page, 2 sine theta cosine theta. You can also use alphas to represent the angle. I'm going to use theta. 2 times sine theta times cosine theta. Now I'm going to plug in those values for sine and cosine. I get 2 times sine being 12 over 13 and cosine being a -5 over 13. Again, it is negative because I'm in quadrant 2, so those negative values, or those x values, are negative. When we multiply fractions, we make sure that we multiply our numerators and our denominators. My final answer being -120 over 169. Notice there's no reducing that I can do here, so this is going to be my final answer for sine of 2 theta. And I'm just going to box up my answer. Now let's also find cosine of 2 theta. There are 3 different formulas we can use. In this video, I'm going to use the first formula. And that first formula says I can do cosine squared theta subtract sine squared theta. So let's figure out what those are. Cosine is -5 over 13. So I'm going to go in parentheses, -5 over 13 squared. Next to my formula is the subtraction sign, and I need the fraction for sine. The fraction for sine being 12 over 13. And again, squared. When I simplify this, I end up getting 25 over 169. Again, a negative times a negative will turn positive. My formula still has a subtraction sign. I'm only squaring what's inside the parentheses. I am not squaring the subtraction sign. 12 squared and 13 squared give me 144 over 169. My denominators are the same, which means I'm going to subtract the tops and leave the denominators alone. 25 minus 144 gives me a -119 over 169. So cosine of 2 theta is -119 over 169. So by using my formulas, I was able to find sine 2 theta and cosine 2 theta. To see how to use the other 2 formulas for cosine, go ahead and watch the next video.